Hey everybody, Mark Burgess, Big East Bass Fishing. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in. If you can, please like it, share it, subscribe to it, follow it, depending on the platform. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so today, staying with Tackle Management 101, I'm gonna move on from soft plastics and soft plastic colors to spinnerbaits, okay? And at some point, I'm also gonna do a little video on what I would consider the top 5 most necessary bass baits to have, especially if you're just starting out, maybe fishing from the bank or the shore. So keep your eyes out for a future video on that. So today, like I said, we're gonna talk about spinnerbaits, okay, and colors as well, tie into it. So first off, let me just say there are, I was gonna say hundreds, who knows, maybe more, in the thousands of different styles, configurations, models, weights, colors, blade type of spinnerbaits. Spinnerbaits were hugely popular back in the day, and they kind of fell out of favor here several years ago, being somewhat replaced by a chatterbait, and we're gonna talk about those at another time. But they've come back into favor because people did get away from them a little bit. They're the perfect bait fish imitator, and you can fish them in a lot of different situations, okay? So that's why it's gonna be one of my top 5 baits, because you can literally fish a spinnerbait in inches of water and in 30 feet of water, okay? So we're gonna talk about that. Blade choices, weight, trailer hook, yes, no, skirt colors, that kind of thing. So, all right, so let's get into it. Let's start off with what I would consider the workman's spinnerbait, okay? Jack of all trades, master of none, however you want to phrase it. You know, it's kind of like the 6'6" medium heavy rod, okay? So that would be a 3/8 ounce with a nickel Colorado and a gold willow leaf with a white or white chartreuse skirt. Okay, so I believe I have one of those here. Yep, so this is a Booyah spinnerbait. Again, I have no affiliation. For the most part, I do fish Booyah spinnerbaits. They make every style that you're gonna need for sure. There's a few others represented here, and I'll talk about those here in a little bit and why. Okay, so here is basically your all-around spinnerbait that can be fished in almost every situation. Now, will it fish exactly perfectly the way you want it in every situation? No. Okay, why? Okay, so for 3/8, okay, essentially that's shallow. It doesn't weigh that much. If you were to try to fish this bait in deep water, between the lack of weight, the pound test line that you're gonna tie to it, and we'll talk about that as well, and the size of the blades, it'd be very difficult to keep this bait in deep water, in the strike zone where you think there's a fish that you're trying to catch is. It'd be very difficult to keep it down there. It's gonna always wanna rise up. It would have to be extremely painfully slow, and it wouldn't really be the right presentation, okay? You'd be better off with a much heavier spinnerbait, okay? So if we're just starting out though, here's a 3/8 ounce Booyah. It's got a nickel Colorado, gold, small gold willow, white chartreuse skirt, a couple other little darker strands in there across the top, little red on the head. Good hook. Open wire, which I prefer, versus the twist tie. Okay, so if you're looking to go out and buy some spinnerbaits, you can't go wrong with a 3/8 ounce white chartreuse, nickel and gold blade, nickel being Colorado, gold being the will. Okay, that'll work in a lot of situations. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to a more specific spinnerbait style. Okay, so this right here is a War Eagle, very popular spinnerbait. Solid gold head, White shot, very similar skirt, only they've manipulated it so it's a little bit fluffier, shorter strands up near the head, so it sticks out like that. So in the water column, these won't completely go totally streamlined, they'll stay out a little bit. But you can see here, this is double willow leaf. Okay, so why would you throw a double willow leaf? A couple reasons. One, they go through cover, they go through grass very, very well because there's not a big wide wobble, they're very tight. Okay, so they'll come through grass and cover real well. And you can burn them. You can fish them a lot faster than a bait with Colorado blades. Okay, so this would be a great bait to throw in the grass. Again, this is 3/8 ounce, good all around size. You want to bump up from 3/8 to ½ ounce. If you find the bait is coming up too quick, breaking the surface, you can't retrieve it at the speed you want without it basically trying to roll over or break the surface, okay, which would ruin the retrieve. Okay, so again, this is for a little more speed in grass cover. Okay, speaking of grass blades, okay, so I have a couple spinnerbaits here. You'll see the heads, I'll show them to you. Very narrow and thin, okay? These are made to come through grass. They're also very small. Now, very rarely do I throw a spinnerbait of this size, but I do if I notice that the bait fish, which is one of the criteria in choosing a bait, water color, water clarity, thickness of cover, match the hatch, type of forage. If I've seen a lot of small bait, okay, and that's what they're feeding on, and I'm also not getting bit on bigger baits, then I'm gonna scale down and throw this spinnerbait again in the grass. I can throw it outside of the grass, okay, it'll be fine, but this head is designed to come through grass, very, very thin. You see here, this is just a single willow, and we got a little tiny baby Colorado and gold willow. Again, covering the bases here with the nickel and the gold, okay? Again, open wire. All right, so moving on, another specific spinnerbait. This right here is a 3/4 ounce. This is a custom-made spinnerbait. I have a gold willow and painted. Yes, painted. Okay, yes. Gold head, little orange on the head, on the belly, underneath the head. I like that. This is white and gold. It's more of a solid white and gold. This being 3/4 ounce, I can burn this spinnerbait. I can make a 50-yard cast with this bait, burn it to a point, not super fast, but I can burn it back to get a reaction bite. Okay, and this is primarily an awesome smallmouth spinnerbait. I have caught some big largemouth on it, but this is what I would throw to cover water for smallmouth. And again, painted. It's a different look, and that's really what I'm going for. So 3/4 ounce, double willow, one gold, one painted. Again, open wire. Okay, now the complete opposite of that, okay, is basically a single Colorado. Okay, I think that I actually have another blade type here, I'll tell you, but single Colorado, white chartreuse skirt, open wire, single gold. When would I throw this? Okay, I would definitely not throw this in heavy cover because this makes a big wide circle, okay, big arc. Gonna catch every blade of grass that it comes anywhere near. Okay, and that's not what I want. This bait is typically thrown in off-colored and muddy water, and typically a little bit colder water as well. This bait, I can reel this. This is only 3/8, okay, but this bait can be reeled very slowly around cover, and it gets a lot of attention due to the vibration. Okay, and you can upgrade this blade as well, but not too big because again, this is only a 3/8 ounce head. Okay, so this is balanced basically. All right, so this is off-color muddy water. Again, I'm throwing. I haven't mentioned line size, but 20-pound test line. Okay, most spinnerbaits that I throw, except for those little baby ones, are 17 to 20 minimum, really. Fluorocarbon. you know, not mono, just because I'm throwing a forgiving medium heavy rod, like a 7.72 medium heavy rod, okay? I also have on this a trailer hook. I put a trailer hook on my spinnerbaits 100% of the time. 100% of the time. And you would be amazed, you'll be shocked at how many fish come in on the trailer hook. And if it wasn't for that, there's no way I would have caught them. I would have missed that bite. All right, so it's well worth getting hung up. It really is. It'll put a lot more fish in the boat. So that's a little trick. All I'm doing is, this is a little kind of like surgical rubber tubing that I just impale them, put the trailer hook on, and then over the main hook. And I like it loose. I don't like those ones that are stiff. All right, again, personal preference. Okay, so staying with that style of bait, here's a couple baits here. This is a 3/4 ounce manned spinnerbait, and also 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. White skirt on the man's, gold white on this spinnerbait right here. This is more of a custom made bait. Dual Indiana. Indiana is basically a blade in between the actions of a Colorado and a willow. Okay. Love these man spinnerbait, I really do, really do. The only drawback to them is it's a twisted wire, all right? Now, one of the reasons why this bait is so effective is, and it was back in the day when it first came out, with, you know, you can ask Hank Parker, is the thinness of the wire, very thin, just a tremendous amount of vibration. And when a bass bites this, it's really, I mean, there's absolutely no pressure whatsoever to get the wire to come down if they bite the whole thing. So, but at the end of the day, you want them the business end, okay? So again, trailer hook. So the problem with this twist tie is that if you don't pay attention and you tie directly to that wire, which you typically do, it gets in between the V, all right? And on a good hook set, if you don't catch it, you'll snap that off right there. Some people put a little swivel, a snap swivel or something like that, but you know, the less hardware on a bait, fishing bait in general, is just the rule of thumb that I follow. So if you do pick up some baits that have a twist tie wire, just make sure that in every cast you're just kind of eyeballing. When you're coming back to make a cast, you're looking to make sure it hasn't gone in between the wire. Okay, again, this bait right here, off color muddy water, these Indiana blades throw a lot of vibration. Not as much as Colorado, but more than willow, okay? And they will tolerate a little grass, okay? Single Colorado, as I just showed you. Another bait here. This is a 1 ounce. There's a 1 ounce Booyah, double gold willow. This bait right here, you can throw a country mile, open wire. Again, 20-pound test fluorocarbon, you know, 7.3, 7.6 rod, medium heavy. Why do I throw a 1 ounce spinnerbait? A couple reasons. One, I can burn this bait, smallmouth fishing. I can burn this bait over a flat and it will not roll. Roll meaning you're pulling it hard, and if you pull it too hard, it's going to start to run. Instead of running straight up and down like that, it's going to start to kick up like that. That's not the look you want. You want it straight, just like that, okay? And every once in a while, you're going to want to look down your bait, right, to tune the spinnerbait. Look down the bait with one eye like you're sighting, like you're shooting, and make sure that the hook point, the whole curve of the hook, the main wire going to the head, the arm, everything is completely in line. All right, and then just make a short cast away from the boat, point the rod directly at the bait and reel it towards you, and make sure that it's running straight, okay? And I would always, as I mentioned, I would put a trailer hook on this as well. The other reason I'm throwing a 1 ounce, 3/4 to 1 ounce spinnerbait is to keep it on the bottom. Okay, a lot of fish, it's no secret, but a lot of people don't do this, and fish don't see it that often. You're fishing deep water, 20, 25, 30 feet deep. Make a long cast, let this bait go to the bottom. me see your line. Boom. Your line will, watch your line, you'll be able to tell it's on the bottom. Snap it up off the bottom and reel it real slow. This bait will stay close to the bottom, reeled slow with these blades turning for a longer period of time, keeping it in the strike zone. And again, it's not something they see. Okay, so that's the other reason why I would throw a 3/4 to 1 ounce spinnerbait. Let's see. I mean, it's just basically more of the same. You can see I have a lot of spinnerbaits. The reason I carry so many spinnerbaits is I want to match the situation that I see. Okay, because again, not every spinnerbait is created equal. Not every spinnerbait will work perfectly in every situation. So I'm gonna pick out the spinnerbait that I need at that particular time to do what I want it to do. Color-wise, millions of dollars been won on white chartreuse. Okay, it's just bait fish color. You can get a little more specific. I do like to throw a lot more gold in there. Again, being from the Northeast, I'll do that. I'm also a fan of some darker skirt strands on the top or the back of the bait, because bait fish, again, white underbelly, you know, translucent-y, chartreusey, you know, sides, and then the back is usually a dark green, that kind of thing. So I'll try to mimic that. Okay, and again, it might just be from my head, but that makes me fish it better. Follow it up with a bunch of fish catches. There you go. All right, so that's pretty much. I mean, I did talk about trailer hook. I didn't talk about trailers. I don't put trailers on my spinnerbaits. I don't. I know that's a big deal now. And if you're looking to get a big bite, by all means, you can put a trailer on there. Any kind of trailer. I mean, little twin tail trailer, little fish tail, finesse fish type thing, boot tail, little swim bait. It does put off more vibration. It's a bigger profile. Again, so if I'm targeting, you know, I get a decent limit, you know, 10, 12 pounds, something like that, and I'm catching a lot of 10, 12 pound fish. I'm you know, not culling or culling for ounces, then I'll put a trailer on the back of my spinnerbait, but I'll still run the trailer hook. Reason being is it does affect the action of the bait, and I don't want them to be biting what's going on back here. I want them biting the blades because they're in line with the hook. Okay, that's the business end. That's what I want them eating right there. Tackle to fish a spinnerbait. I mentioned 17 to 20 pound test line. Reason being is just because of the cover that you're throwing around, and it is a, you know, it's not a slow reel into the fish. It's almost like a flipping worm type. You detect a bite, and you're putting the wood to them. Okay, you're letting them know you're there. You're setting the hook, because most spinnerbaits have a pretty decent heavy wire hook on them, and you need to basically get that where it needs to be to get the fish in the boat. Rod. I mean, for some of these smaller spinnerbaits, you're casting around like tight cover, 6'6", medium heavy, get away with maybe 15 pound. You can even use mono. Okay, a lot of people like mono because of the stretch. It allows the fish to inhale the bait, you know, before he knows it's not real, and you can set the hook. I fish my spinnerbaits on fluorocarbon, 17 to 20, typically with at least a 7-foot rod, if not 7.2, 7.3 medium heavy, is what I use to do it. So there you have it. Any questions, please put them in the comments. Shoot me a message. Any questions at all regarding really anything that you think of, but you know, more so specifically these spinnerbaits. All right, so I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like it, share it, subscribe to it, follow it, and stand by for just a lot more content coming at you here. All right, thanks. Have a great day.